Among the things kept in here are the materials that are used, cots, for instance, for the Habitat for Humanity trip, or the Tyran work camp as it was formerly known. And also some of the equipment that is needed by the Red Cross for their blood mobiles. Straight ahead is the kitchen. I could stop before we go there and take a look at this room, the women's choir dressing room. We can go in and take a quick look at this. Our choir has served us well and done a fine job. This is where the women store their robes and get dressed in preparation for worship. Now, let me get into my pocket and see if I can find the key to the kitchen. Now we're ready to go into the kitchen. Here's the sink. The windows look out onto the church parking lot. A lot of good meals have been prepared in this room. Off of the kitchen is a small storage room. Get the light turned on and see the freezer. Some of the roasters, or a roaster. Cupboards for storage. And I believe that this large wooden box in this room is the blower for the church organ. You see the pipe coming up, going across, and supplying air upstairs for the organ. Let me get the lights and close up here. Just off of the kitchen is a hallway that goes to an outside door. You can see where windows once were in this wall, and that was before the new educational unit was added to this building in the late 50s. This room is to remain in our new building, though it may be revised somewhat. There are a number of rooms that are off of it. This is one where we keep canned goods and silver goods. Number of classrooms off to the side. I think for now we'll stop our tour of the newer area of the building, the part that will remain, and we'll go back upstairs and catch some of the parts of the building that will be torn down. Just coming off of the small social room again to this doorway, which is going to lead us back upstairs. See if we can still make it up the steps. Here we see the doors that lead out to the west entrance that goes out onto the alleyway. I'll open the door. You can see what the view is from this area. Next door, Angelini Pontiac, the alley, Columbus Street, and the outside of the church. Inside, the controls for the lights in the main worship area. We get a few lights and we'll continue the tour. This hallway from the doorway we were just by, we come to this turn, this window that looks out onto the alley, and another stairway. And another window, and the view out that window. Up a few more steps, and another turn. If we look straight ahead here, we would be looking right out towards the choir over the organ. This is the high school class. Let me find the key. This is perhaps one of the more interesting rooms in this building. A youth room. Unfortunately, we don't have very much light in it at this particular time of day. I did want to take you over here to this window. It'll help you get perspective on things. We open up the curtain here and we look out, you will see the roof of the educational unit. Once again, this helps give you some perspective of where we're at. This portion of the building will be torn down, but what you see in front of you, that roof area, is the newer part of the building, and it will remain. With that, we'll say goodbye to our high school room, turn out the light, and be on our way. We come to this area. This was at one time, I believe, a reception area and a reception area and the secretary's office. Now we have filing cabinets which keep church records and music for the choir and the organ, a display cabinet, a rack for tapes of the worship services, mailboxes for the church council people, and this is the sacristy. The cabinets for keeping the paraments, and for keeping the communion ware. Turn the light on in this smaller room. To reveal the sink, the acolyte sticks, and cabinets. Come out of that room, this storage cabinet for the acolyte robes. And this is the PA room. And here is the church safe, keys, some of the old church records, and the amplifier, tape recorders to record the church service, a telephone hookup so that we can send our worship service audio to our local radio station for broadcast. This is our secretary's office. As you can hear, the printer is working well. Judy has stepped outside for the moment. Doesn't care to be in our video. As you can see, our office is rather small. It's hard to get all of the equipment, the copier, typewriter, printers, computer, books, bulletins, paper, and all of that sort of thing into this small room. And it is particularly difficult when there is more than one person that needs to work in this room. We hope to give our secretary a little more space in the new building. Well, here's Judy now. Good day to you.
Hello.
We're just taking our tour of the building. We'll continue on our way.
Okay.
Coming down the hallway, we come to the men's room, drinking fountain, the janitor's closet, the ladies' room, and we come to this room, known as the old library. As you can see, now it is principally used as a place, a place for the handbell choir to practice. It is also where we keep the tapes that are taken out to shut-ins, and we collect our soap to be given to Lutheran World Relief. Behind this door is a small storage area. Coming through this room, we come to the doors that most people use when they come into the church, coming in off the parking lot. And these stairways go upstairs. Let's go up there and see what we can find. This area in the ceiling is where you can enter into the attic. Perhaps we'll get the chance to go there in a little bit. But for now, let's continue on up. Turn the corner. And you see a room that is a storage room. A lot of Christmas decorations up here, Christmas trees. This room was formerly used before the remodeling that took place in the 1950s as a Sunday school room. At that point in time, the building, the altar was down at the other end of the worship area from where it is now. And at that time, this area was a sort of balcony around the area which is now our chancel area. I want to go over here and show you the organ room. Hang on one second. Well, as I said, maybe we get the chance to go up into the attic and see what was up there. So the ladder is in place. I guess it's time to give it a try. Well, we made it up anyways. This is the attic. This is the area above the chancel area. Straight ahead, that wooden structure right in the center of the picture is the structure that was developed to raise and lower the sanctuary light, the eternal flame that hangs from the ceiling in the chancel area. The light isn't very good here. I'm sure it's not going to be easy for you to see. But what we're looking at here, although you can't see it very well, is some of the timbers which have presented a problem for the building. These are some of the timbers that are deflected from where they're supposed to be, and this was one of the considerations that which the congregation thought about strongly as they decided whether to try to salvage this building or not. I'll move over straight ahead here. Straight ahead is the area over the main worship area. Moved all the way down to the Columbus Street end of the building. And you can see this small little hole here, which is made in the wall, and through it you can see the window, part of the window, that round window which can be seen from the street but not from the inside. Here's a sight which not many of our members have seen, and I'm sure you're not seeing it very well, but this is our bell in the bell tower. We hope that we will be able to use this bell again in the new building. As you can see, it's quite a large bell, and it is a significant part of our history. I've turned around from the area under the bell and I'm looking back down the main sanctuary towards the east. I'm sure you can't see very much, but we'll continue on our tour. Perhaps you can just faintly see here a little bit of the roof that was left inside when a new roof was constructed over the top of this. This roof was not adequately supported when the new roof was put on. You may not be able to see it, but down in this area is where some of the beams were cut and were left hanging. That too was another consideration which caused the people of this church to ultimately decide that the building should be replaced. Well, I probably just about pressed my luck far enough walking around on these rafters up here in this attic. So I think it's probably time for us to continue on our tour and say farewell to this attic. So we come back down to those main doors that most everyone comes through when they come to our church. Let's go out then and see what's on the other side. Get our light adjusted right so that you can see well. Let's step back and take a look at our building. It's a bright, sunny day here. It's hard to believe that today is the second day of November at about 75 degrees. You're looking at the exterior of the brick. Bricks were also one of the considerations regarding the building. Some of these bricks are the original bricks used in the first church that was built near where the Galleon High School is now, and were later brought here and used in this building. Apparently it is a very soft brick and conducts moisture, and we had, I guess, wondered whether how well they would do in the long term. There's the bell tower. Looking at the church from across Columbus Street, standing in the Methodist Church's parking lot, you see the stone face that was put on the front of the church. My understanding is that originally this stone was to go around all of the worship area, but because of lack of funds was never completed. At the church from the front, perhaps we can zoom in and see some of the finer details of the building that perhaps you never really looked at that closely. Over to the alley, you can see the north side of the church building. And across the alley, Angeline. And as we come down the alley, we come to the end of the original structure. We come to the new educational unit built in the 1950s. Looking to the south, we see the parking lot, which the church owns. Coming across the side alley here, you see the barn on the corner of the block that the church owns. Parking lot. I'm sure that you've found, as I have, that looking at this building brings up a lot of different emotions within me. A lot of dreams are in this building, a lot of hard work, a lot of offerings, a lot of blessings have come through it. And yet we are bold to take another step to move forward and to try to plan for the long-term good of this congregation, of this community, and of God's kingdom.